Hello, my car crazy chums. Welcome to A Car Is Reborn. What's all that about, I hear you say?
What's all that about?
I'm glad you asked that. Well, if you've been watching carefully, you may remember that my constant quest is to build my own forms of transport. Yes, indeed, I built this Cobra replica from scratch, but now I fancy breathing new life into old bearings, and I'm going to restore a classic car. But which classic car? That's the question. So I've come to the International Classic Motor Show at the NEC here in Birmingham to whet my appetite and yours. It's time to dribble. Sit back, stick a handkerchief under your chin and cop a load of this. Classic cars come in all shapes and sizes, and let me take you through a few of them. This is a 1967 Honda S800 convertible, the first model Honda ever made. And this is a 1973 Vauxhall Viva HC 1800 SL Estate. And this is a 1963 O'Reilly Mark III 1.5, the kind of car a headmistress would drive. Maestro. And this is 49 years old. It's an Austin A125 Shearline ambulance. And that was a menage of Morris Minors. And this, well, I think you know what this is. And this is completely out of my league. 3 million quid minimum. I think I can just run to the prayer mat. I am not worthy. And this is very special. My first car was a Triumph Herald convertible, and I worked slavishly for a year on it, restoring it. I lost a lot of things in that car, including my virginity. What sort of people are involved in classic cars?
Well, all sorts. I mean, there's sometimes a bit of an image of older people, I would think. But that's certainly not true. I bought my first classic car when I was 13. I mean, I'm not maybe quite normal, but...
Well, very abnormal, I think, because at 13, how on earth would you drive it?
It didn't work, so that wasn't relevant.
Mike, no. No. Just because you've been saving up for... No, back here. You cannot have one of those. You've been saving up for ages, I know. We're looking at classic cars, all right? Now, in terms of, you're saying about people, it's not expensive, kind of people involved in it. Do you find the younger people get in because of the fact that it's a very accessible way into owning a car, frankly, that you can fix yourself?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you can fix it yourself. You can buy one very cheap. If you want to get into, say, a Triumph, your first car was a Triumph Herald.
Yeah.
You can get yourself into a Herald incredibly cheaply. You can do everything yourself. And you can insure it, which is the big problem now. To insure a modern car is just horrendously expensive, whereas you can insure a classic car really quite cheaply. Generally, I mean, you'll see from the show that people love one type of car.
Yeah.
They really tend to get channeled into one. And some people love Austin Allegros, say. I mean, a lot of people don't.
Just run that past me again. Some people love Austin Allegros.
Yep.
You cannot be serious.
That's true.
The old square wheel number with the lovely velour seats.
Particularly the Van den Pla model. There's one over there.
Now just take a look at this. This is something very, very special, and it's brown, and it's got a yellow stripe on it. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Can I join you?
Yes.
In your lovely brown car? Oh, it's very special. Have you got a rug?
Yes.
Just put the rug over our knees.
Nice and warm.
Now, Annette.
Yeah.
Why do you indulge so much love and attention on an Allegro?
It isn't an Allegro. It's a 1500 Van den Pla.
So hang on a minute. So Vanden Plas is almost like a
company.
coach builder company.
Yes, they are, yes.
Completely
Very
separate
old,
company.
Very old coach builders, yes. And the bonnet and the grille and everything are different. But so the interior is completely different. They don't have Allegro badges on them anywhere because apart from the body shell, they're a Vanden Plas.
So why did they keep them brown then?
They didn't. They had all different colours.
Did they?
Yeah, many, many colours. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 different colours.
So one final question before, or in fact 2 questions before I stop my champagne. Are you completely bonkers?
Probably.
Excellent. And secondly, is it essential that all Vanden Plas have a nodding dog on the back parcel shelf?
Oh yes, you've got to have your nodding dog.
To this. Exhibit A is obviously, I mean, it's a Jaguar.
It's a barn find, isn't it?
This is extraordinary. So this is the kind of condition.
This is what you dream about. Opening up
What,
a barn. No,
You
no.
might.
Maybe
you
me.
might dream about this. I dream about one that's got paint on it still.
Maybe not an old Jag estate, but you dream about opening a barn and finding your dream classic in that barn.
Does that still happen?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, this is quite amazing.
I think
isn't
it's fab.
It is. Something like this is going to be a job of a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't what we call a rolling rebuild. This isn't something that you could just do on the road. Just doing it in the evenings, it's a full restoration. But loads of people with no experience take on a full restoration and do it themselves. And
And are they bonkers?
not totally. It's possible.
Yes, they're bonkers. They are completely bonkers, and that's why we love them.
That's what that Jaguar is hopefully going to end up looking like.
Oh, I mean, that's beautiful, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
I mean,
the saloon
quite
version of the
incredible.
estate.
Excuse me?
Yes,
Is this yours?
It is.
Could
yes.
you please remove it from the show? There's lots of
I beg
beautiful
your
cars
pardon?
here, and this is an eyesore.
This is the show car here. What are you talking about?
Why, Tony?
Pristine example of a beautiful French
No.
corrugated van.
No, it's not pristine. It's a wreck.
Is it not beautiful?
Why did you've brought this into the country
Yes.
yourself? Why?
Yes. Why? Because I think it deserves to be seen and educate the English people and beautiful French design.
The thing I'm slightly worried about is the paint finish on it at the moment, because most people here are lovingly polishing their
There's no
cars until there's
rust on this
incredible shine. Just look at the paint.
It's an old tea cut up beautifully. Look at that.
You've covered this in grease. Is that just to stop it rusting?
Rusting? No, French vehicles don't rust. No, they just naturally age.
They naturally age and decay
Yeah,
and
so
fall
can
to
you
pieces.
see
Much
the
like
rust on
French
this
people,
vehicle?
actually, funnily enough.
Can you smell the garlic oozing out of this
Yeah, it's-
vehicle?
Oh,
And
yes.
the sheep droppings in the back.
Now that's exactly what I need. I say again, that's exact. Thank you very much, Andy. You like making a lot of noise.
Apparently so, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now listen, I need your help because I've been going around this show and I'm getting a bit carried away because I'm seeing all these fantastic cars. I think, yes, this is what I'm going to restore. And then I think, hang on a minute, I built a kit car, so I know how to put a car together, but restoration is going to involve all kinds of new skills. Am I going to be biting off more than I can chew?
No, I wouldn't say so. Not today. Not in this day and age. If you walk around this show now, you can buy nearly anything for any type of car. There's trim, wiring looms, body panels, everything. Wire wheels, tyres, everything.
So if that's the case, why are you building this one from sheet aluminium?
Right, well, certain types of vehicles, there's just no chance of buying the bodywork for them at all. This is a 1930s sports. It was a one-off at the time, all hand-beaten, hand-shaped in traditional methods. The only way to restore a car like this is to use the same techniques used to create it. It's a one-off. This is a wheeler machine, or an English wheel, as some people in the world call it.
And what does it do?
Right, it's used for producing double curvature panels. We've got a double curvature panel right here, in fact.
What do you mean? What do you mean a double coat? That looks like a bike seat
Right.
for somebody with a rather ample bottom.
Yeah, possibly so. I don't know the kind of people you associate with, but in actual fact, it's like a teardrop, a bonnet bulge to clear carburetors and things like that on
Right.
the side of a bonnet. That starts off as a flat piece, and what we've done is we've used a mallet and a sandbag, or even an old tree stump, like Ferraris were often hand-beaten on old tree stumps like that at Pininfarina. They're hand-beaten into shape, rough the shape up, and then it's smoothed up on the wheeling machine.
What, see, when you're banging it on here, so if this was on here like this, which end of this would you use?
I'd use that slightly
Right, and you
shallower
just,
end.
you just whack it quite hard?
No, you
Just
need
tap
to...
it?
Yes, a bit harder than that.
But then look what's happened, you see, I've got all these dints in it now.
That's right,
Look at that.
yeah. But if we now roll it through the wheeling machine, just to adjust the wheel up to the top, here we go, it's starting to make contact with it. If we now wheel through that, it will remove those dents. But the idea of using the mallet and the sandbag is actually to create shape. So it's a series of dents all over, uniform dents, that creates the rough shape, and the wheeling machine will smooth those dents out. So there, here,
Oh,
presto,
that's
the dents
amazing,
have
look
gone.
at that. That is superb. Because I mean, you've got this whole area around here is just filled with cars. I mean, there's wonderful cars over here. Fantastic. Volvo as well. I love it. I love it. Well, that's it for part one. Join me after the break when I'll be trying to blag my way onto the Ferrari stand, and you get to find out which classic car I'm going to restore. See you later, blue eyes.